The simulation hypothesis points to God. In this video, we provide an evaluation of the simulation hypothesis and discuss how it points to God as a rational alternative. As we have discussed in various videos, there is a lot of evidence for intelligent design of the universe and of the biosphere. In response to this evidence, one of our viewers mentioned the simulation hypothesis as a form of intelligent design. So, here are my thoughts about the hypothesis and how it points to God. We will consider a materialistic or material simulation hypothesis and a mind simulation hypothesis. The materialistic simulation hypothesis assumes metaphysical materialism to be true. The mind simulation hypothesis is a theistic version.
Thesis: evaluation of the materialistic simulation hypothesis.
The materialistic simulation hypothesis proposes that we live in a computer simulation that is run by an advanced civilization, or by an advanced alien entity. This is an interesting hypothesis. And yes, this would be a form of intelligent design.
Critique of the materialistic simulation hypothesis.
1. Mind things, e.g., consciousness, free will, are not materialistically computable. As Dr. Roger Penrose has argued, so our consciousness and free will would be evidence against a pure materialistic simulation. 2. If the materialistic simulation hypothesis is correct, Occam's razor would point to a simulated Boltzmann brain, rather than simulation of the entire universe. So, the materialistic simulation hypothesis would reduce to a form of solipsism. 3. If that is the case, then there is no external universe that we perceive, and no other minds that we perceive, and no science is possible. 4. And if that is the case, we cannot trust rationality at all. 5. So, the materialistic simulation hypothesis destroys rationality and science. 6. If that is the case, then all of the reasoning that points to a materialistic simulation hypothesis is suspect, and the reasoning cannot be trusted. So, the materialistic simulation hypothesis leads us into an epistemological spiral of failure. 7. In addition, this hypothesis could point to an infinite regress of material simulators, and such an infinity cannot be crossed. 8. The materialistic simulation hypothesis does not actually explain why there is so much evidence for intelligent design in deep time, e.g., the fine-tuned Big Bang, the fine-tuned anthropic parameters, the impossibility of naturalistic origin of life, the impossibility of naturalistic mega-evolution, the intelligent design informational infusion needed for origin of life, the numerous intelligent design informational infusions needed for creation of the higher taxa. 9. All of this would be false evidence in the materialistic simulation hypothesis, because our current state of affairs, as simulated in the material computer, do not need such an elaborate past history.
10. And there is no need for any real deep time, with its deep history of life.
Occam's razor would indicate that the materialistic simulation created us, humans, in the recent past, with a fake fossil history of the past, rather than spending all of the computational energy needed to create 4 billion years of past history before human arrival. Thesis: the simulation hypothesis points to God. Details. 1. All of the evidence for the simulation hypothesis, spatially finite universe, temporally finite universe, quantized matter, quantized space, quantized time, point equally to God, as mind that created all of physical reality. 2. One option, in Christian theism, is that we exist in the mind of God. Just like my thoughts exist in my mind. Or a book's characters exist in the author's mind. Or the characters of my dream, or daydream, exist in my mind. 3. So, that would be similar to the simulation hypothesis, except that we are simulations in the mind of God, rather than in a material computer, as in the material simulation hypothesis. So, what I am proposing here is a mind simulation hypothesis, in contrast to the material simulation hypothesis. 4. Given the Christian God as the ultimate mind, and given his character, purposeful, good, rational, not deceptive, that would solve the problems raised above for the material simulation hypothesis. 5. If mind things, free will, consciousness, are not computable, as Dr. Roger Penrose has argued, then that would be evidence against the materialistic simulation hypothesis. And that would be evidence for the mind simulation hypothesis, i.e., theism of a form similar to Christian theism. 6. The materialistic simulation hypothesis does not actually explain why there is so much evidence, in deep time, for intelligent design. These evidences point to a designer who wants us to know that our universe and life have been designed by a designer. So, this points to a theistic God, rather than an advanced material alien. 7. And deep time would be real, rather than a fake planted history, in theism. Conclusion. The simulation hypothesis points to God, as mind that created all of physical reality. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.